So with that text message that I got and what you have just read out, that marries up.
Kind of makes sense, yeah.
Okay, so folks, again, it's just a rumour at this stage.
Yeah.
So don't go crazy at me, everybody at Golf Australia.
Welcome to Talk Birdie to Me with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me. Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot. Smooth, controlled and powerful. Titleist, the clear number one ball in golf. FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Betr, when the greats bet, they bet with Betr. Ping will help you play your best. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Now, here's Nick and Mark.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. If you were on our Betr multi last week, honestly.
It was close.
Mate.
The one person.
What's Scheffler doing, shooting that first round score, and then he's chasing his tail for the whole week?
He's done it the last few weeks, though. He's got off to Thursdays are becoming an issue for Scheffler.
Yeah.
He was dead last at one point.
I will say this.
And then he almost still got it.
Your tip of Aldrich Potgieter. Did he say his name?
Potgieter. My dark horse.
I was sitting in the car park when we finished last week, and I thought I'll just put $20 on him at 350 to 1. And I was hopeful going to bed on Sunday night, but it didn't pan out.
No. Another friend of mine, another Mark, funnily enough, rang me and said, if he wins, my wife and I are taking you and Alana out to the flower drum.
Yeah,
nice. I said, are we ordering Grange? He said, we're ordering Grange.
Well, I had a few smarter friends of mine who didn't back him to win, but they saw the odds for top tens and they all jumped on and won some money. So well done to everybody who won some money in Aldrich. Great tipping from you. You obviously know your stuff. But as usual, there is that much to talk about in the world of golf. It never sleeps. In fact, we've started this podcast in the perfect storm of golf news because it has been electric for the last 3 years. Where do you want to start? Oh, I'll tell you. No, you don't answer that question.
Okay.
Your boy Austen Truslow.
Oh, yeah.
He has a win.
So great to see.
Yeah, very good.
So great.
Now, you've got to tell me something because I was watching because I have a love affair with Paraparaumu. I love that golf course, so I want to go back and play now, especially after seeing it on the TV again.
It's such a great course, isn't it?
But Truslow, I watched him earlier in the week. He's putting like a normal human being. And then at the end of the week, he's putting, who's that guy with the really short putter?
Oh, Robert Garrigus.
Garrigus. He looked like he had a 26-inch putter. What happened?
Well, it's funny. Austen is Talk Birdie to me's own, right?
Yeah, well,
Austin,
he is. We've had him on.
He's our tour pro.
We've had him
We
on.
already know that. And I've known him for almost 10 years now. I did some work with him back in the US, and we've stayed in touch. Middle of last year, we started chatting again about his game, and because he's been playing Asian tour.
Mental stuff or short game stuff? What are you talking to him about?
Yeah, a little. Now, these days, more short game, more strategy, more mental, those sorts of things. You know the deal.
Yep.
And he came into this week, didn't really play much links golf. He never really played. And you're going onto a course like Paraparaumu
it's scary
with
off the
wind
tee.
the first 2 days.
Scary off the tee.
Hit it well the first day, but the wind caught him out a few times, shot a couple over, which is not out of it because I think 3 under was leading or 4 under. Goes out, shoots 65 Friday. Best, it was an incredible round of golf. And all of a sudden he's got the lead. Saturday I'm commentating, which is awesome. I get to see, Austen play because it's not rare. It's pretty rare that I get to see him play these days. And noticed he struggled a bit on a couple of the shorter putts.
What did you see?
Well, he missed a couple of 3-footers and the rhythm was out. So the backswing was a little long and then he either decelerated or he sped up.
There we go.
And he had a couple of little mishaps, you could say, on those ones. Now, he did some practice putting after the round, and then after that, I had a good, I said, look, give me a call if you want to have a chat. So we spoke for about 20 minutes. Spoke a bit about his putting. This is Saturday night, so after the third round.
So you're talking to the leader of the tournament.
Yeah, well, it's
on the doorstep of victory.
Of course.
Right, okay.
Absolutely. This is
getting good.
This is what we do.
Ask the question. Keep going.
And anyway, so I just said to him, look, you need to be a little bit more reactive, a bit better with the rhythm with the shorter putts. And he says, well...
And you were right in the spot because you were commentating like you said.
I saw it all.
You're watching
watching
every
everything.
shot.
And he said, you're going to be fascinated. He said, I'm going small tomorrow. And I said, okay. And he said, you know how I like to crouch over? with shorter putts. Well, I'm doing that tomorrow. And I said, well, if it shortens your stroke and improves your rhythm, absolutely go for it. And he did it, and he putted the lights out, which was fantastic in the last day. He gave the lead up after about 6 or 7 holes. He got off to a rough start. And the way he won was actually probably my favourite thing about it, because, you know, when he had a 3-shot lead over a 17-year-old kid.
Yeah. Who looked good.
Cooper Moore. Watch this guy. Wow.
Did he look any good?
Yeah, young amateur. And Cooper came out swinging, playing lights out. He got the lead after 6 or 7 holes. Austen was struggling. He made a really good bogey on the 5th, the par 3. And then all of a sudden something switched, and he was 5 under from then on. And to win that way, you know, rather than birding a couple early, having a 5-6 shot lead and cruising home, but to face some adversity, stay composed, and then go on to win like he did, I'm so happy for him. And it's his first major win on any major tour. So he's won on mini tours and that before, but never on a major tour. So a huge win for him. And I think we might have some footage there, Dan, about his winning putt. And just have a look how far he is bent over on this. I couldn't believe it. I call it the Jack, you know, old Jack Nicklaus, how he used to putt that way.
I call it the Robert Garrigus.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Well, he's still got a long putter. It's just that, you know, he's bent way over, and this was the winning moment.
So if you're listening in the car, I would say he's like a set square. You know, he is completely, his shoulders are pointing straight down at the ball.
He's almost like the old Michelle Wee, you know, with the back parallel. But he's 6'5", so he's a big unit. So, no, it was a great win for him, and I'm so happy.
Well
and hopefully the first of many.
I'm glad that
New Zealand Open this week. Look
some
out.
influence too.
Maybe see what the odds are.
Which is good on you. Well done for having some influence there. I want to get to the DP World Tour news, which involves, the two big stories it involves of a Smiley, who was in the press release, and also John Rahm. We'll get to that shortly. I want to talk to you about Jacob
Bridgeman.
Now,
another incredible win, young man out of Clemson.
When you and I were commentating, 7-shot leads always went back to square.
Always. Well, this one didn't. It went back to 1.
Well, it got back to 1, but it was so close.
It was a nervy 2-putt on the last.
He had how good? His 2 shots. Now, I'll give him this. The 2 shots that he hit into the last were spectacular, considering what was going on in front. So Adam Scott shot his second 63, if you're just catching up with the news of the week.
Bogey free
on an invite, which makes it even better. Yeah. So at the start of the week, he didn't have a start in what he calls his favourite tour stop.
Yeah, these signature events, you know, it's the top 50, then they have another 10 or so in this.
That should get him into all the majors this year. Actually, I imagine.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think it's going to get him into the 63 that he shot will get him into all the majors. So he's going to break the record for consecutive majors in a row or whatever that. Is it a record or is it just getting to 100?
100 consecutive is what he's after.
It's amazing. That's an amazing record, personal record, if it's not a record. So well done to Scotty. In fact, can I give him, that's our host plus, that's a plus?
Oh, yeah.
For Adam Scott to shoot 263s in the week. Quite remarkable at 45 years old.
Around Riviera
when you're playing on an invite at Riviera. Yeah. So well done, Scotty. We absolutely love him, and you know, thank you for anchoring so we can see a break between your shirt and the top of your golf club too, Scotty. You're a rock star, mate, and congratulations.
The thing I don't like about Adam Scott,
what's that?
He's annoyingly good looking.
Yeah,
he's ridiculously handsome, and it's just not fair.
And can I tell you this? When there's not a microphone in front of him, and you're just chatting to him out the back somewhere or whatever, a nicer bloke you'd never meet. I mean, he's got it all.
He doesn't have much going for him, really. A shocking golf swing, ugly bloke. I mean, what do you do? So, but he's making ends meet, which is always good.
I think he barracks for the Adelaide Crows. So that's what we got.
Oh, there you go.
That's what we got. Actually, there was one President's Cup where they're all kicking an AFL footy after it at Royal Melbourne. He looked like he could kick and mark as well. So he wasn't a bad sportsman at all.
Okay.
Bridgeman. So that's for Host Plus. That's a plus for the week. Yes. So well done there. But Bridgeman, you know, geez, to get your first win, to see a 7-shot lead at the start of the day disappear, and you've got to hit those 2 rippers. I noticed something, and I want to run it past you.
Okay.
Now, Dan, I've sent you that video. Nick hasn't seen it, and I just want to get your thoughts on what he was doing before the most important shot in his short career. I think he's only played 66 times on the PGA Tour to get his first win. This will get him into the Masters and all the rest of it. Here he is. I've taken this off my TV, so I apologise for the video quality.
Is this the last hole? I didn't see the tee shot or the
he
second
stood
shot.
up on the 72nd tee with the one-shot lead and completely nailed it. And then watch this.
I'm concerned right here because he should be looking up, not down for number one.
That's right.
And his caddy should be doing this, not him. When two players stand in the middle of the fairway, both doing maths, why are you paying your caddy?
Well, look, now I'm glad you and I are like-minded with this.
Have you ever seen Tiger do that?
Never in a million years.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Jack Nicklaus do it?
No.
Never in a million years. Did you ever see Gary play? No one does this. This comes from young players thinking they've got I don't know what it is, but if you have a caddy and you are paying this caddy handsomely and he's very capable of doing yardages, what the hell are you doing? The last thing you want to do in this situation is make sure the maths is right in your head. I mean, just look after, every once in a while, if the caddy said to me, it's 186, and I was looking up there thinking, I was going to get my 7-iron out or something. I'm going, hang on a second. It looks much shorter than that. And I look over his shoulder and we do it again. But he was doing this on every single shot in. Mathematics as well as his caddy. I mean, at some stage, you've got to give your brain a rest so you can perform. Now, Nick, this looks silly because he went on to hit the best shot of all time, right? He hit a beautiful shot exactly where he wanted it, under the hole. It was at the right of the green. No doubt he was aiming at the middle of the green. That doesn't matter, folks. He hit a career shot. But I was almost barracking for him to hit a bad shot, so this would be a better point. But I'm going to make the point anyway. What the hell are you doing? Just, if you're a young pro in Australia right now and you're employing a caddy and that caddy is good enough to do your yardages, let him do it. Free your mind.
If I can offer some advice to all the young pros out there, and this is what I used to do. And look, I know it doesn't work for everyone, and I understand people need to do the math and they need to get the numbers and the figures in their head and all that, right? But whenever I walk up to a golf ball, when Wilbur was caddying for me, I would say to Wilbur, I didn't have a yardage book. Or if he gave me one, it was in my back pocket just in case I needed to check something.
I never had a yardage book if I had a good
But I
caddy.
rarely had one in my back pocket. And I'd say to Wilbur, don't give me the number until I ask for it. Yeah. Because what I do is when I get to the golf ball, I look at the live first. So that's going to tell me a lot about what I can and can't do on the shot. And then I look up and I go, right, okay, where's the flag? Where's the wind? What am I feeling? And I'm feeling, okay, is this a 6-iron? Is it a 7-iron? Is it a draw? Is it a fade? I'm not going, is this 175? Is this 176? I'm just feeling, seeing, getting an instinct for the shot.
Wait.
And then I go, Wilbur, what's the number? And he gives me the number, says front, back, whatever's around, etc. And then if that basically complies with what I have in my mind about my shot, I'm like, perfect, I'm good to go. And if it doesn't, I go, okay, well, why is that? Are we a little uphill? We got a bit more breeze, and I'm thinking all that sort of stuff. But I'm not going staring down. I'm looking up. You want to look up in the game of golf. You don't want to look down. So
every time I was playing when I was playing well, if I played with someone who was very good, like Colin Montgomery and Alistair. Colin Montgomery didn't have yardage book in his back pocket. Alistair did all the yardages. Yep. If I played, with whoever, Pete Senior, whoever it was, they're not doing mathematics. They're doing exactly what you were doing. But here's the thing. If I ever played with somebody who was closer to my ability and I saw them doing all the yardages and I wasn't, I knew I had an advantage over them. I just knew. And it was just so beautiful to walk up. I did something a little bit different where I would look up, I would walk up, I'd kind of have a guess at what the yardage was, and then I would do exactly what you're doing. Okay, the lie dictates what I can do here. Can I hit the fade out of that bad lie, or is it if it's going to be a flyer, I'm starting to really feel whether it's a pitching wedge or a 9-iron for this 8-iron yardage. Yep. And then I would say, okay, Drew, for instance, let's go, Drew, what's the number?
Yeah.
And then he would run through it with me. And then you're using your imagination instead of just another cookie cutter sort of shot.
Yeah.
But please, to me, in the tournaments where I had a caddy where they weren't capable of doing yardages, right? And there was plenty of those tournaments too where I had to pick somebody up and do it.
Yep.
You know, by the end of the week,
You're worn out.
you are completely worn out versus when you're just a computer, basically, and you're being fed information.
Yeah.
Someone's just feeding you the information. You know, that is the cherry on top. Not, you know, and that's what I feel like what you were doing, you know. You've already got a shot in mind. That final number that the caddy gives you, that's just the cherry on top.
It's just reaffirming exactly what I'm thinking.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the complete cherry.
It's a great way to play golf. It simplifies things down to a point where you just all of a sudden become immersed in the golf shot rather than worrying about how far the distance is and all this sort of stuff. So,
and I know there's some important shots, right? There's some important shots more than others. Like you at the top of 15.
It
all
keeps
right?
touching me here, Dan. I don't know what's
Sorry.
going on.
Well, you're looking over there. I can't get your attention. You're at the top of 15 at Augusta, and you know there's a water carry, and you're nervous. And you just want to make sure, because if it's the yardage is a little bit off, you can go in the water over the back or you can go in the water short. You might just peer over Wilbur's shoulder. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
And then you move on. That's it.
No, Wilbur never gave me a mystery on the yardages, only gave me the wrong club once because there were. Remember I told you the story, he gave me a 3-wood instead of a 5-wood because the wood covers were mixed up.
And you couldn't tell the difference.
I couldn't tell the difference.
That happens. That does actually happen.
Anyway.
And the reason one of the other reasons I say is because I watch a lot of the tournaments where you're commentating here, what's it called, the Challenger PGA Tour of Australia. I watch a lot of it. And unfortunately, a lot of these kids don't have caddies who are capable of doing that. And I watch them and think, gee, you'd be playing so much better. I always sit back on my couch thinking to myself, you would be playing so much better if you were being fed information instead of doing maths before every single shot.
One of the things I said to Austen, I said, who's your caddy, by the way, out there? And he goes, well, it's actually my host who he was staying with him. And he said, I got to the tee or just before my tee time on Saturday because he'd just been caddying for himself because you don't need him the first 2 rounds. But when you're in the TV groups, you need a caddy. And they said, who's your caddy? And he goes, I don't have one. He said, better find one. So anyway, his host Scott did a great job over the weekend and they won anyway.
Touch of Class.
Driving a BMW is like hitting the perfect shot.
Well, that is pure magic.
I think you've got a touch of class now that we're talking about Austen Truslow.
Oh, yes, the touch of class this week, by the way.
Yes.
It's sort of awesome, but it's actually the golf course, Paraparaumu. Now, on the Australasian Tour, we always find if you host, anywhere in the world, if you host golf tournaments at great courses, it doesn't matter what they're playing for. All of a sudden, it elevates the event. And I couldn't tell you how many people watched that golf tournament because of Paraparaumu.
That's right.
It was spectacular.
How
Absolutely spectacular. And they had so much variation in the golf course. It was from 30 to 60 kilometre hour winds blowing from this way and that way. We saw balls running over the green. 2 players shot under par for the week. 6 under one, 3 under was second, and there was another American, MJ Maguire, on third who was level par. Yeah. Everyone else shot over par, and it was a good field.
Yeah,
so
it was.
That's my touch of class this week for BMW. Paraparaumu, I take my hat off to you.
BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole.
Speaking of a touch of class, I'm just going to go back on that. I was at Royal Melbourne yesterday for the Melbourne BMW Golf Day.
Aha.
And Royal Melbourne at the moment is looking spectacular.
Oh, really?
I had that little bit of overnight rain, I think, on the weekend. And
a little bit. Bucketed down.
Well, sorry, bucketed down, but it made the course pop. And I think they had the pins in from Pennant the other day.
Ooh.
And it was so much fun.
Yeah,
the West was just brilliant.
It's funny you say. I got a text message this morning before I got in here asking whether I wanted to play next month.
Oh.
I replied very quickly.
In what? In Pennant?
No, at Royal Melbourne.
Oh, okay.
Have a go at Royal.
Beautiful.
So I reply. It's one of those replies goes straight back. There's no need to think, straight back. So good on you, Marshy. I'll see you next month. Now, the DP World Tour news. Now, it's a long press release, so let's make this simple for the Wolfpack out there. They've done a deal with LIV, and that deal is that basically if you have some fines, if you pay those fines, then all sweet, you'll be able to play some of the DP World Tour tournaments that don't clash with LIV. And if you have some pending litigious issues with the tour, if you cancel those legal hearings, then you're also welcome to play on the DP World Tour.
Correct.
On some of the LIV events. Everyone said, that sounds great, except for one player.
Yeah. Well, there was 8 players that said yes. Laurie Cantor, Thomas Dietrich, Tyrrell Hatton, Tom McKibben, Adrian Moronk, Victor Perez, David Pouge, and our own Elvis Smiley. Now, in Elvis's case, he doesn't have any fines because he only just joined, which is fantastic.
And we don't think he's got any litigious stuff going on.
Doesn't have to withdraw any pending appeals.
Beautiful.
One person that does, that's John Rahm, obviously. So I think he's accrued about $3 million US in fines that he has to pay on his own. Before that, LIV were paying the fines.
That's right.
But funnily enough, I mean, what did he sign for? 300 or 400 million. That's a couple of runner-ups, which he's already had this year. So anyway, that's beside the point. I think he's doing it on principle at the moment, obviously.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
And then you had Rory McIlroy saying the other week, well, you want to play Ryder Cup, put the money where the mouth is. We've been saying we pay to play the Ryder Cup. Yeah. So there's a bit of back and forth going on.
So there's $3 million US and what do you call it? Principal. Bit of principal and $3 million US in the way. Hopefully that sorts itself out because I would love to see John Rahm playing some events on the DP World Tour and the Ryder Cup.
And you need him on the Ryder Cup. He's an incredible player. So the other thing that I read an article on recently was LIV is also looking at getting involved with some of the national opens and helping to fund them. Okay. Now, I just want to read something that I read about Scott O'Neill, who's the LIV.
Yes.
And apparently he met with James Sutherland just before LIV Adelaide. I know you were talking about that the other day. They should get together. So.
I know this isn't 3AW breakfast, folks, but if we're going to have a little rumour file.
Here we go.
If we're going to have a rumour file, apologies to Ross Stevenson and the team at 3AW breakfast.
This is what Scott O'Neill has said. We believe there's an opportunity to partner with some federations, ones who want to partner, and we believe we have an opportunity to take some prize pools up and bring some additional sponsors into the mix to help defray some of the cost and elevate the television product. How can we actually make them matter more again? And can we be a help for that? That's why I'm so interested. They're so aligned with what we're about. So hearing, and it's funny, this week we have 3 national opens going on. You've got the New Zealand Open, South African Open, I think the Argentinian Open as well. But the Australian Open won't happen this year, but maybe next year. You never know. Or the following year, 2028.
Right. 2028.
Prize pool goals up. I mean, we just had the best field in Australia at the Australian Open recently anyway, with obviously Royal Melbourne, Rory McIlroy and all the players that came down from the DP World Tour. We had a few LIV players as well, which was great. But could you imagine we get more of the LIV players, prize money goes up, and then you start talking Masters invites, British Open invites and all this sort of thing, and
it's a big deal.
Could be.
So the information I got, this was last Thursday, and I won't tell you who I got it from because this particular person will never give me information ever again.
Oh.
But it's text message that simply says, seems like GA, Golf Australia, are about to do a deal with Saudi for the AO.
Okay.
And that's what he said, for the AO, I presume.
Okay.
So with that text message that I got and what you have just read out, that marries up.
Kind of makes sense, yeah.
Okay, so folks, again, it's just a rumour at this stage.
Yeah.
So don't go crazy at me, everybody at Golf Australia. This is just what we hear. And unless you're telling us stuff, we'll never know.
Well, hopefully, I mean, the PGA of Australia and Golf Australia working together, we can all get it going in the right direction. And the more money we get playing for in this country, the better it is for our young golfers. And away we go.
Well, there was a little bit more to that text message I got that I'm not going to read it out, actually.
Okay.
But hopefully everything's nice and rosy down there at Sandringham.
Me too.
Where Golf Australia is. I'll just leave it at that.
It sounds like you should.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I put this out last week when we were talking about the Australian Open, and I didn't get much pushback from my club at Kingston Heath, where the Australian Open is being played next week, so I'm going to go with it again. I've spoken to quite a few people now about the proposed routing for the Australian Open. Now, if you have played Kingston Heath Golf Club, our last 7 holes, I would say, are reasonably iconic. And it's designed for a grand finish, right? So you've got 12 where you can make a birdie or an eagle, 13's a shorty where you can make a birdie. 14, you can make a birdie or an eagle and start the charge. 15 is one of the most famous par threes that we have in the country, here in this country in Australia. 15, a little par three up the hill, where if you end up in Big Bertha or if you hit one down the right-hand side on a windy day, you can make a double like that. 16, the blind tee shot, tee tree either side, you can make a double like that. If you double cross the second shot, you can end up over the fence. It's a tough, brutal hole. It's my favourite hole on the golf course, and that's exactly where it should be, the 16th. 17, open drive, blind tee shot, anything can happen over the hill. Anything can happen. Then 18, where they got the new tee, is a demanding par 4. I watched the 19, it must have been 95 Australian Open on YouTube the other week.
Yeah.
Greg Norman and Peter McWhinney were hitting 4 irons into it. 4 irons into the 18th when the tee was up. So look,
Well, different ball.
you
different
might have,
yeah,
these guys might be hitting 8 irons in from the back tee.
which is crazy.
But that is an iconic finish of golf. Now, the proposal, can you swap it over there, Dan? There it is on the TV. The proposal is to finish on 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, I put to you, Nick, you've played it. They're all fabulous holes. Every hole at Kingston is a great hole. But it just doesn't have the same gravitas. The 6 arguably does. And I think the only reason they're doing this is to have the drone shot, on the 72nd hole with the clubhouse in the background.
No, I'm looking at that going. So the original, the 18th now is the 14th. The 7th now is the 15th?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, 4, 5, 6 will be 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, okay, right.
And that's,
Which,
again, they're great holes.
they are great holes.
But it's not the iconic finish.
I just remember standing on the 16th hole at Kingston Heath saying, please give me 3 4s.
Yeah, that's right.
Just get me to the clubhouse
Just
with 3
get me-
pars. Because if you have a 3-shot lead standing on 16T, it is not over.
It's not over.
It is not over.
It's definitely not
You could
over.
easily be in a playoff or even lose the tournament if you don't play good golf.
Now, this is the thing. Now, for the President's Cup, because it's match play and you want everybody finishing close-ish to the clubhouse, I get it. I still wouldn't do it myself, but I get it. We tick it off. Well done. We'll do it. No worries. But for a 72-hole tournament to finish on a part of the golf course that's not an iconic finish, well, I think they've got to rethink this. I know you spoke to someone during the week. You don't have to say who it is, but that person is in high regard.
Yeah, of exactly
of this world of golf that we live in here in Australia, and he was disappointed that this was the case.
Yeah. Well, it's an iconic finish.
It's an iconic finich.
It is. And
It's as simple as that.
you're right. I think for match play it would work well. Like they did it at the President's Cup with 18 East at Royal Melbourne. They made that the 16th because that's probably where a lot of the holes are going to finish.
That's right.
Great, no problem. And then go down, 1 and 2 West for 17, 18.
That's right.
If they get that far. And look, you could do this for match play, but for an Australian Open.
For an Australian Open, let's finish the way Kingston Heath is designed to play.
Yeah.
Let's do it now. I remember once at a Heineken Classic, Nick, the 17th hole was 1 West.
Yes, that was when I lost in a playoff
Right.
to Craig Parry.
I put to you that 17 is not 17 as 1 West is hopeless compared to the way Royal Melbourne finished this year at the Australian Open, which went back to the traditional way that course has always played. And
it's a
that
much
is an
better way this way.
iconic finish. Yeah. So they've gone back to it one year, and then the very next year they go and tear it up. I just don't get it. And look, whoever's made this decision at Golf Australia, please change it. Change it now. Get it done, because it's just not the same. It just won't. People who have played it from all over the world.
It's not set in stone, though, is it?
Oh, let's hope not.
I mean,
let's hope it's not set in stone.
Hopefully, it's just a debate going on. What rounding would work best, and maybe, and send it out to the people who are know a bit about golf.
Nick, that makes sense. But from what we know with Golf Australia and the Australian Open, who knows what the hell they're doing? I mean, honestly. Who knows what is going on and what's going on in their heads.
We had a great tournament last year, so I'll have another great tournament this year.
I'm sure they will.
Apparently Rory's favourite golf course in Melbourne.
But let's tick every box and make sure that it's done properly. And so people who are watching right around the world who have played it, they go, I remember that finish, and they know what's coming up. And people right around the country who have played Kingston know the finish and know what's coming up. We're not trying to work out what hole's what. There's nothing worse than watching a golf tournament. You've got to finish with what hole's what. Dan, I know you want us to finish up. Can we please play what Adam Scott said after his second 63? I love watching Scotty.
Oh, yeah.
And I think everyone cheers for him. And being the first bloke to win the Masters puts him in a very elevated position in this country. But after his second 63, this is what he had to say, and we'll catch you on the 10th tee.
That's awesome. I'm lucky to be here this week on an invite, obviously, and it's my favourite stop on tour of the year, so I'm wanting to make the most of it. I've been feeling like I've had a lot of good golf since last summer and got absolutely no results, thanks to average putting, I would say. The standard's incredibly high out here, week in and week out, and average putting just isn't going to get it done. So nice to see myself kind of up on the first page of a leaderboard, and hopefully I can play a couple more good rounds and be in the hunt here. It'd be pretty awesome to get a victory here again.
Okay, Nicholas, you must be very excited because I saw a driver in your golf bag.
New edition, the Ping G440K.
Yeah.
Now, every time they bring a new driver out, I'm kind of like, guys, this one works perfect for me already. But this thing goes further and straighter again. I can't miss a fairway at the moment. It's a joke.
What about the look?
Oh, it looks unbelievable as well. And that's the beautiful thing about all the Ping equipment is not only does it, do everything you want from a performance standpoint, but my goodness, it looks great.
Well, I've never seen you happier. I can't wait to see you on the golf course. Hopefully you won't be hitting it past me.
We need a rematch.
See your local golf shop or professional, because Ping will help you play your best.
What I'm working on in my swing at the moment is being able to sync my lower body to my upper body on the way down. The Hyperflex shoe offers the stability and comfort that I'm looking for in my golf swing. Golf shoes are a huge part of golf equipment, especially when I'm working with the longer clubs like 3-wood and driver. I'm really able to go to another gear and know that I'm going to be supported. My name is Elvis Smiley and these are my FJs.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie to Me. We're here for BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me. The golf clearance outlet, they beat everyone's prices. Ping will help you play your best. And Betr, ahead of the game. Now for Titleist, the number one ball in golf, and FootJoy, the number one shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick and Mark.
Righto, welcome back. I've got no idea what your top five is going to be.
I just had to quickly do it, actually. And I just want to lend on your point with finishes in golf. Last three holes, specifically 16, 17, 18.
Nice.
Top five toughest finishes that I've played in tournament golf. So there's a bit of a caveat to this. I mean, Kingston Heath obviously would make the list, but we've already spoken about it. So I'm going to just put that to the side.
I'm glad you put it in there, Nick,
it is,
one way or another.
It's kind of a top six-ish, you could say, or a 5 A, B, C.
16,
because
17, 18 are pretty good.
I also want to put Cypress Point in there with that finish, but I have never played a tournament now. I've played there. But 16, 17 is so good. 18, but the 16, 17
I think 18
carries
is a
it
good
through.
hole. I think they're very harsh, people who say it's the best 17-hole golf course in the world.
When the greats bet, they bet with Betr. Top five.
The top five for Betr. When the greats bet, they bet with Betr.
Top five.
This one goes in begrudgingly because can't stand this golf course. My views have always been... You've already always known my views on this course. Bay Hill. 16, 17, 18, 3 tough holes. 16 is a reachable par 5, but if you don't hit the fairway, it becomes just a horrible little hole. And even if you're in that second shot over the water is very smelly.
It's a tough layup, isn't it?
17 is a really tough par 3, and then 18 over the water with the bricks and everything. I mean, it looks great on TV, but folks,
and the banana shaped green. Remember when Arnold Palmer hit driver off the deck?
Yeah, that
knocked
was
it
so
on.
cool. And
That was
Tiger,
incredible.
Tiger, I reckon, for 4 years in a row, kept holding a 25-footer left to right curler to win the tournament.
How many times did you win there? About 6 times?
8.
Eight times.
I think it was 8.
Something crazy.
Anyway, Bay Hill number 5. Number 4, they're playing there this week at the Cognizant Championship.
Bear Trap.
Yep, the Bear Trap, Palm Beach Gardens or Palm National, maybe they call it. PGA National, that's what they call it these days. 16, water on the right. 17, again, a horrible par 3.
Yes.
Not bad for a lefty. And then 18, you got the water again, brutal, tough
Good
hole,
fun to
especially
watch.
when the wind's really blowing. It's always a dramatic finish there.
Yep.
Number 3, it's one of my favourite golf courses in the world, Royal Melbourne, and specifically the Composite. Now, I'm going to go with...
That's what I was going to say. Which part 3 did you go with?
I'm
There's
going with the
16.
short one because actually, no, given this is toughest, I'll go with the one up the hill, the long one, because for a lefty, that is a horrible hole. It's a tough hole. Up the hill.
3, 4. So it's 4 east.
4 east, up the hill. And then 17, the par 5, which is 17 east and 18 east as well. So
Do you know there
tough
was
and
thought,
iconic at the same time.
there was thought at one stage to make 17, the par 5, play even longer, was to put a tee short of the 16th green and then you hit over that hill. So it'd be a blind tee shot.
Oh, wow.
There was thought of doing that at one stage.
Ooh, blind tee shot there would be interesting.
So it'd be a blind tee shot over the hill, over the green and over the hill.
Wow.
And then there would be a shorter walk from the 4th east to the next tee.
Okay.
And there was a beautiful amphitheatre behind, which was the 16th tee. That would have been good. I'd like to see it one year.
Number 2 of my top 5 toughest finishes, Sawgrass.
Oh, yeah.
16, par 5. It's gettable, but the water's right there. Yeah. But the hardest walk in golf is from the 16th green to the 17th tee.
You never hit one in the water,
I
did
never
you?
hit one in the water.
That's
but
a
it
pretty
is
good
a tough walk because everyone's just willing you to hit it in there. And you can see it. You don't want to look at it. And it is a tough one. And then 18 was always a horrible hole for me. Just the water up the left. Yeah. It's right in my field of view and brutal finish. Yeah. But my number 1 toughest finish, and it is in there for personal reasons because I had my worst finish to a tournament to miss the cut by a shot there one year, Quail Hollow. I finished triple bogey to miss the cut by 1.
And
so
look at you still
remember it. Still remember how I did it. Cannot get rid of those demons, but it's a 16's completely changed now. A very different hole to what I used to play it. They've cleared all the left side out because I was in under one of those trees.
18, the drive on 18.
And then 17 is just a horrible hole for me. And 18, I've been in that creek many times. So Quail Hollow, my number 1 of toughest finishes in golf.
Unreal.
Tournament-wise.
Well done.
Nice.
Very, very good.
Boys, time for a bit of feedback to Southern Golf Club. Are you ready for it?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Talk Birdie feedback. Thanks to Southern Golf Club.
First one here, this comes from Skylar. Now, Skylar has said, guys, it's difficult for an albatross to fly under the radar, but it happened in the second round at LIV Adelaide. Sergio Garcia holed his second shot on the par 5 7th. The cameras didn't record the shot. That seemed a bit of a stuff up to miss it. I would have thought they'd have cameras recording on every green and every tee.
They do.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think they have 100. I think they have 100 cameras or something like that. It's incredible.
And just for scope, the Australasian tour,
we have about 6.
6 is pretty. By the way, 6 isn't bad for what
we're doing.
What we're doing.
Yeah.
It's quite good, but 100 cameras. It means you got to have 100 cameramen.
I don't know what the PGA Tour has, but it's not that many.
Andrew has said, hey guys, the talk about AK's brilliant comeback is great, and I think this helps change the rhetoric about LIV. I did like your top 5 comebacks, but there's one that's very special to Australian golf that wasn't mentioned, and it deserves to be highlighted, I think. Jared Lyle making it back to competitive golf after a second battle with leukemia was inspiring. Obviously, sadly passed away in 2018, but he left a legacy remembered today. Notably, Herbie wears a Luke the Duck on his cap still to this day.
There's lots of Luke of the Ducks there everywhere. And to get out of hospital when you're a kid and then get to the PGA Tour, miracle. To cop it again and then get back to the PGA Tour, you're wearing a cape. There's no other way of putting it.
Yeah.
And then for that rotten disease to get him the third time, my goodness. I mean, no one could believe it.
Yep. No, it's terrible. Terrible disease. Okay, now there was some more comments on the top 5 as well, the top 5 comebacks from adversity. Mark, you put it out there and you said, I'd like to hear if anybody thinks that I've missed one from a woman golfer. And we had a couple.
Okay.
Good.
Same one too. Tim has said, what about Babe Didrikson Zaharias? Cheers. Timmy, same one from Jeff Curran. Babe won the US Women's Open in 1954 wearing a colostomy bag.
I did not know that.
After colon cancer surgery in 1953.
I did
and she
know
won
that.
the Vare Trophy that year. The name may be familiar because in the 30s, she was a multiple Olympic gold medal winner.
That's right.
Yeah, track and field.
She was a superstar.
I think she also played
sports
baseball and
woman.
basketball.
Yeah, she did everything.
Multiple sports.
I had no idea she won a US Open wearing a colostomy bag. That's a miracle.
I don't know how you'd even do that. That's extraordinary.
Look, I had one for 3 months, and I wasn't playing golf.
Yeah.
I know that it's impossible. So how she's done, I mean, there are two different types, but still,
Yeah.
there are a lot of people who play golf with a colostomy bag, and good on them for getting out there. Quite often their shirts untucked, and they just get out there and play. And I just think it is sensational. But the winner US Open,
Yeah, it's incredible.
oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, we missed one.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Had a lot of comments on the interview with Richie Smith
No.
a week or two back. We had a few more that we'll touch on here. Tor has said, such a great episode. Richie's honesty and openness is very refreshing, which it was. He was quite open, wasn't he?
Yeah, very
hard
candid.
He's very matter of fact, and that's what I want in a coach. I don't want a coach who's a bit wishy-washy.
Yeah,
What do you
or
reckon about
who's a
this?
yes man.
Well, you can go either way.
You don't want a yes man.
No,
either.
I want a bloke who knows what he's talking about and will, live and die with what he thinks the golf swing should be.
And that same goes for a caddy, like a Stevie Williams.
Yes.
This is how it's going to be.
That's right.
It's not one cup, it's 2 cups
That's
out.
right. That's right. And Steve Williams would never let one of his players do mathematics as well. Never in a million years. He'd say, go away.
Yep.
I'm not kidding for you.
Another comment on Richie, this one from Paul. Hey guys, the Richie Smith interview was excellent. He's a rare human who has very clear thoughts about doing excellent things and is inwardly rewarded by what he can give others. I reckon he starts today with something like, let's be really good at our job today and see what happens.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Matthew, more Richie Smith, please. I could have listened to him for hours. He's the best guest you have ever had. Thanks and keep up the great work.
Love it.
Yeah.
I hope you're
He
listening,
was
Richie.
good. Yeah.
It's high praise.
Yeah, that is high praise. All right, this one here from Travis. Now, Travis, this is Sophie's dad.
Oh, great.
The young lady who we
had on last week.
Yes,
You
did a
looked
swing.
at the swing last week.
Right.
Travis has said, wow, thank you so much. Sophie is wrapped and cannot wait to get out and practice the things you guys have mentioned. I found it amazing, Nick and Mark, that you would take the time out to have a look at Soph's swings. If you're going to be at the Australian Women's Open, Soph would love to say thank you. You have inspired her even more.
Good on you. Oh, that's a pleasure.
Fabulous.
I like doing it. I know
We
you
do.
like doing it. I
Love
can't
it.
help myself.
I know.
I can't help myself. I know if you see somebody you can fix, you can't help yourself.
It's amazing how many social rounds of golf I play these days now in a competition, and I'm just chomping at the bit to say something, but I can't because it's a comp. You can't
it's a
help
comp,
people. But
yeah.
afterwards, you go, a couple of things you might want to work on. So anyway.
Now, so we had Sophie online. Well, we looked at Sophie's swing last week. While we're on the theme of young ones doing really, really well, this one comes from Dan Barron. Dan has said, "G'day, Mark and Nick. I wanted to highlight and ask you to shout out 14-year-old Jude Farrelly, who won the Rosebud Country Club Club Championship with a fantastic 3-round score of, wait for this, 12 under par.
Holy moly.
66, 68, 68. 14, by the way, 14.
At Rosebud.
At Rosebud.
Jude.
Phenomenal Jude Farrelly. Phenomenal golf by one of our young superstar juniors who we are so very proud of. All the best,
Wow.
Dan. 14, that's amazing.
Well, look, that reminds me.
That's incredible.
Now, if you're from Queensland or New South Wales, Mike Sheen's name mightn't mean much to you, but for everybody else in the country, Mike Sheen is the doyen of AFL football. He sent me this message during the week. His grandson, his name is Will Fitzpatrick, 15-year-old, is now the Portsea Golf Club's club champion.
Wow.
How old?
15.
Oh, my gosh.
So isn't that fantastic?
That's
So
outrageous.
Mike obviously said to me he's very proud of Will. And
Some good golfers
Mike,
down on the peninsula.
there are some
my
good
gosh.
young kids coming through. But look, it's funny now, isn't it? Because I know when I was 13 and 14, I read it out of books and tried my best to copy the good players at the club. The bloke I used to try and copy was Alan Rita. He won about a dozen club championships at Huntingdale. So I used to copy him, or, if I saw somebody I played with who chipped well, you'd kind of look at what they were doing and you would copy, or, just how people played, you would just copy it. But these days, if you're getting lessons as a 12-year-old, with the advent of a video camera, if you can get the fundamentals down pat by the time you're 12 or 13 and then learn all that other stuff, all of a sudden you have got a very repeatable action, and you're watching and just got the finer details of chipping and putting, and you're playing the same course every day kind of thing. You end up getting very, very good on that golf course.
Certainly do. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of juniors around at that age with incredible fundamentals at the moment. They're taught so well because of the technology now.
That's right. And then the next step for these kids, for Will and Jude, is now to start playing tournament every week, because it's no good being the best player at your club. You got to be the best player at all the clubs, and you got to learn how to shoot. Your 68s, not just at Portsea and not just at Rosebud, but you got to learn to shoot 68 at New South Wales Golf Club or Royal Queensland, or wherever you might be playing. Lake Carrinup, where's your brother, the manager? Mount Lawley.
Yep.
It's no good just being able to shoot 68 in one place.
I got to learn how to reshoot 68 there after the changes.
That's right. So that's the next step for all these kids is to branch out and not play your home club every Saturday, and start playing tournaments all over the place, and then away you'll go.
Well, that's the feedback for Southern Golf Club, and if you want to send it in, you can do it on the socials, or you can email us, or wherever you want to do it, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you have subscribed, thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, you may think you are, but you may not be. Just click subscribe or follow on YouTube or Spotify, wherever you happen to get the podcast. It really helps with the I don't know how the algorithms work, but I know it helps. So that's it.
Check the yardage book. It'll be in there, the algorithm.
Okay, so. There you go.
Check the yardage book.
All right, Nick, ready for some ping globals?
Absolutely.
Because ping will help you play your best.
Has anyone sent through some new music?
No, they have not. Thank goodness for that. And do not encourage people.
No more. We're done. Okay. All right.
We can't settle.
PGA Tour, they were at Riviera, an iconic golf course. Jacob Bridgeman had a 5-shot lead entering the final round. Got it up to 7 at one point.
I think it was at 7 at one
stage. And then ended up with a 1-shot win over Kurt Kadiyama, who shot 64. Rory was right there as well, 67. They were both tied second. Adam Scott finished 4th, justifying that sponsor's invite with a bogey-free 63.
Good on you, Scotty.
Aldrich Potgieter was in 5th almost, 350 to 1. That would have been quite a win, that one.
Huge.
Ryan Fox, next best to the Australasians. Dan, by the way, Australasians. Just going to put that out there.
Yes.
Tied for 7th.
You were correct.
Yes.
You were correct.
I know. And the top 10 streak is broken for Scotty Scheffler.
And we broke it.
We broke it
right here on Talk Birdie to Me. We fixed him right up.
Yeah, because he finished tied for 12th along with our own Minwoo Lee. Jason Day was the only person to miss the cut. Scotty Scheffler had a putt on the last to make the cut on the number from about 7 feet, and I thought this could be the greatest Talk Birdie to Me curse of all time if he misses this. Anyway.
You know what it means? All it means is the next preview we do, we are so due.
We were close.
We are due. I thought we were due on this one.
Close.
Anyway. Hey, Nick, just on Riviera, I got a message here from Darren. Darren has said, Nick, I want to say thank you for the tip on Potgieter. Top 10 places paid. And I also got on Rory to cover the bet just in case, which you didn't need to, of course. I know you look at the comments here from time to time. This was on YouTube. But thank you very much from Darren, an avid early morning viewer in the UK. Love the show.
Good on you, Des.
Fabulous. I think you were even a top 10 on Potgieter as well, weren't you?
No, I went all out. I put $20 on at 350 to 1. I was going to win $7,000.
Wow, that would have been good.
And he couldn't hold a thing on the last day, you idiots.
Never mind.
Bloody African big fella.
It happens. Bumpy Poana greens. Anyway.
I saw a few tweets talking about should majors ever be played on Poa greens. I think there's been some pretty special ones.
Certainly have.
Pebble Beach.
Pebble.
What about the course where they slow the greens down for the tournament? Is it Oakmont, Oak Hill, Oak something
Could
or
have
other?
been. Right, okay.
Yeah, one of them. One of them they
what was the one?
They
I don't think they were Poa, but when Retief Goosen missed like an 18 inch putt.
Southern Hills.
Southern Hills. I think that might have been Bermuda though, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Guess what they are now?
Pure
distinction.
Yeah, they're going that way.
Right. Yep.
Anyway, back to the results. LPGA, they were up in Thailand where the hometown hero and world number one Gino Titicol had a one-shot win over Japan's Chizi Iwai. It was her 8th LPGA win and her first on home soil. So,
she is a freak.
yeah, her mum was congratulating her. Everyone was there and it was very emotional for them all. Best of the Australasians was Lydia Ko, tied for 5th. Hannah Green, good week, 7th.
Yeah.
Obviously, that work she's done with Richie Smith paying off early in the season.
Yeah.
And Cassie Porter and Karish Davidson tied for 35th, were the next best of the Aussies. DP World Tour, they were in Kenya for their National Open. South Africa's Casey Jarvis, get a load of these scores, on a par 70 golf course.
Yeah, go on.
He has bookended 65-66 with 262s. So he shot 25 under, 255 strokes for the week. So he starts with a 62 and finishes with a 62. That'll get it done. 3-shot win over American Davis Bryant. The Aussies, we had Jason Scrivener tied for 23rd and Dave Micheluzzi tied for 53rd. Locally, on our own Australasian tour, they were at Paraparaumu for the New Zealand PGA, where, as I mentioned, Austen Truslow had a 3-shot win over Cooper Moore, the 17-year-old amateur, one to look out for. Apparently, his World Amateur Golf Rankings is way out because apparently the amateur rankings are heavily leaned towards college players.
Oh.
So he hasn't got a good ranking because he's not eligible to go to college yet, which is a little crazy, but anyway, it is what it is. MJ Maguire was in 3rd, another American 3 strokes further back. Now, on the Legends Tour, they had their opening event of the season. They were in Marbella, Spain, where Jamie Donaldson, the Englishman, had a 64 for a one-shot win over Stephen Gallagher from Scotland, and Scott Hend, 5th in that event. So a good week for Scotty to get his season underway. This week, we've got Palm Beach Gardens for the Cognizant, South African Open, New Zealand Open, and the LPGA goes to Singapore. So another big week in golf coming.
You didn't mention the Legends tournament at the Box Hill Golf
Sorry.
Club. I'm very disappointed.
Well, you said you were going to shoot 63, 7 under. Is that right?
I shot 73.
You did?
I was 10 shots off.
Okay.
But I finished 17th, and that was good enough for a slab.
How much?
$250.
All right. Well done.
$50.
And who won?
Dave McKenzie shot 4 under par.
Gee, that's good.
But Lucian Tinkler, the old loose head sprinkler,
yes,
he birdied 6 of his last 7 holes to shoot 3 under in the morning. And normally the morning score wins at Box Hill.
Yeah.
But Dave McKenzie too strong. But still, birding 6 of your last 7, Lucian Tinkler, he can still play.
Wow. I heard you're in fine form emceeing the event as well.
Oh, yeah. Well,
as always.
Look, if you want a good MC,
Telling
there's only one
stories.
place to go, folks. That's clear.
That is true.
We all understand that. Hey, time for this week's Masterclass, Dan.
It is indeed. After the break, this is for the Golf Clearance Outlet. And I would say they have got a product of the week this week, which looks fantastic. Have a look at this on the screen. The Tri-Light Flash Buggies. There's over 2,000 5-star reviews on these things. It's the number 1 golf buggy in Australia. How good's that look?
Yeah, they're the best.
Incredible.
Wow.
So simple. Any bag fits on them too. Any single bag you've got, it all, what they call it, universal. A universal clip.
Yeah, nice. All right. So we'll do the Masterclass next.
Golf buggies, golf carts, e-bikes, scooters. If it charges at home, chances are it's charging right now. Overcharging lithium batteries can damage your equipment, or worse, put your home at risk. SwitchStar power points deliver power for up to 8 hours, then switch off automatically. No apps, no Wi-Fi, nothing to remember. When you forget, SwitchStar doesn't. SwitchStar, every home should have one.
Couple of birdies, a hole-in-one, some nice saves. You didn't see this, though. No, stop it!
Well, look, I know Rory McIlroy didn't win the tournament, but did you see his scrambling? Number 1 for the week. And his sand saves, he did not miss an up and down for the whole tournament. And he even knocked one of these long ones in on the last day. That's what I want to talk about, these long ones. Because when I play with people, the long bunker shot scares them. Now, this is a 30-metre shot, just the same as the one that Rory holed on Sunday. The thing you'll notice about Rory is he hit it so hard. He hit it so much harder than just a 30-metre chip shot. He actually hits the ball fat. You've got to go underneath the ball. And because you're hitting the ball fat, and no doubt he used a lob wedge, you've got to swing really hard. Now, the lob wedge from 30 metres isn't for everybody. You know, you could use a 50-degree Vokey wedge, or you could use a 56-degree Vokey. I've got my 60 K12. It is perfect if you play golf courses where there's some thick sand and some firm stuff. The 60K, put that in the memory bank. It is a perfect club for this. Now watch this. It's the second flag you can see in the distance. I've got to make these days, at my age, I've got to make a full swing to get it there. Good lie, quite a bit of sand. That was a full swing, and I've still got a 10-footer left to hole. So when you're in the bunkers, it's a big swing. Hit it fat on purpose and a big swing. Or if you're not as strong as you'd like to be, then maybe use that 50-degree or the 56. It makes bunkers so much easier.
A little disappointed you didn't hold it like Rory there, Mark. Still a good action, though.
I didn't have anybody to film it, so I was on a stick.
Okay, yeah.
It was on a little stick.
Did you get that from Timu?
I did get it from Timu, and I'm going to get you one.
All right, I want one.
I'm going to get you one because they're the best sticks you could ever use if you want to video your swing every once in a while. Now, what was really important there, Rory McIlroy is Rory McIlroy, who's got a bit of club head speed. And then I reckon I put a still in there for you. You can see him, like it's only a 30-metre bunker shot. I went and had a look at the stat link there.
Yep.
It's a 30-metre bunker shot, which, you know, amateur players have 30-metre bunker shots all the time.
And it's a nightmare for him.
It's a full swing.
Yes.
I mean, he's got his lob wedge and it is all the way to the top. Now, for other players who don't have the club head speed or the strength, when you've got a 30-metre bunker shot, it's not your lob wedge for most people.
No.
Unless it's really hard. If you've got no sand in the bunker, maybe it's your lob wedge. But, you know, for most people, it's your 50-degree or your 56 or your 54 just to get it. Well, it's like what happens on the fairway. You know, less loft makes the ball go further.
Yeah, I play a lot of them as my pitching wedge. So, because I've only got 3 wedges. 60, 54 and a 46, and I play them with my wedge.
I played a shot the other day at Kingston Heath on our 14th hole. It was about a 70-metre bunker shot. It was really thick sand, and I don't have the hands to clip it anymore. So I exploded with a 9-iron. Just came it out. It ran 20 metres, got on the green. You've just a chunk and run. So the sand iron or the lob wedge isn't always the answer.
Love it.
And the other thing I mentioned. My Vokey K12 quite a bit in the clip. If you play at a golf course where there is thick sand and some other bunkers don't have much sand, the K12 Vokey, believe me, it's the best. It's the best of all the worlds that you could possibly find in the bunkers. Have you got your new Vokeys yet?
No, I haven't. I'm a little jealous now.
Well, the SM11s, the SM11s are very, very good.
Okay.
Dan, by popular demand, my friends at other golf courses are desperate for Nick and I to put our 11 to 20.
We did the top 10.
We did the top 10. Now, it's impossible for us to do a top 100 because we just don't play them.
These are courses we've played again.
That's right. We've got to actually, or one of us has to have played them. Yeah. So, you know, can
It'd be
convince
flawed
the
list
other.
if you just name them by rep. Yeah.
So I reckon we could only ever go to a top 20. So is it worth doing at some stage an 11 to 20?
Yeah, we could do that. I think we could agree on it.
It would be a long, we're going to have to come in with some notes because it would be a very long one.
All right.
It wouldn't be a mini, it might be a maxi.
A maxi.
Talk ready to me, maxi, 11 to 20.
Right.
I reckon we take it on. Let's take it on.
I reckon there'd be more controversy in the 11 to 20 list than
there'll be stacks more controversy in 11 to 20, but I guarantee you this, folks, it will be more accurate than all the other ones put together.
All right. We'll do that over the next few days.
All right. Good on you, folks. Catch you next time.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen. Live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. The Golf Clearance Outlet, they beat everyone's prices. BMW, luxury and comfort for the 19th hole. Betr, ahead of the game. Ping will help you play your best. And Host Plus, they can help you drive your retirement further. Now that's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. This is general advice. Consider the PDS and TMD on our website before deciding. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and share the pod with a friend. Talk Birdie Samee's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie Samee.